Layla stood before her forgotten childhood home, haunted by painful memories as storm winds shook the gloomy forest trees. Dampness seeped into her bones, while the smell of mold invaded her breath. Returning to this hell was the final price to bid farewell to a grandmother who died with secrets unburied. The door shrieked like a demon's scream as she pushed it open. The inner darkness swallowed the fading daylight, wrapping Layla in a deadly cold. The stench of ancient death, grave soil and damp walls, choked her breath. In the foyer, dust motes danced in weak shafts of light. Shadows of furniture twisted into lurking beasts. The crooked family photo on the wall was a silent witness to Grandma's mysterious smile and those black button eyes of the doll in her lap. Grandma's room was preserved like a corpse in a coffin. The excessive neatness clashed with the house's decay. On the nightstand, a small wooden box carved with symbols like scarred, enchanted skin pulled her like a magnet. The tattered journal pages exhaled the scent of time and madness. Grandma's frantic words warned, "The doll is no toy, but a cage for an evil spirit. Its glass eyes are windows that watch and promise revenge if touched by family blood." The drawing of a hideous doll leaped from the page like a nightmare. Its frayed threads, black button eyes like voids, and stitched, twisted smile. Beneath it, the mysterious circular symbol pulsed like a hidden heart. The third prophecy of darkness had begun. An icy whisper crept from the hallway. "Leela!" Her blood froze. At the doorway, a long, bodiless shadow stretched across the wall, its limbs contorting like a venomous insect ready to strike. Her flashlight beam pierced the dark, revealing the threat. Footprints of wet forest mud advancing toward her room like a thread leading to a trap. No one had entered, yet something had brought the forest inside. From above the hall, a persistent scratching echoed, like nails on a coffin lid. The attic door stood ajar, thick darkness flowing out like black smoke. It was the one place Grandma forbade entry, the doll's lair. Every step screamed beneath her like a final warning. The stench of rot and wetwood intensified. The tall shadow watched from below, and the scratching morphed into rhythmic thumps like a heart beating in the dark. Dusty sheets draped over furniture resembled resting ghosts. The air hung heavy with the dust of the dead. In the corner, the large wooden box shuddered, its lid shifting slightly as if something inside had just breathed. Inside the box lay the doll. Its dark glass eyes caught the flashlight beam, gleaming like a wolf's. The threads of its twisted mouth seemed to widen into a smile as if waking. The stench of ancient decay spilled out. Another icy whisper, "Found you," hissed from the doll itself. Layla crashed backward. The rolling flashlight cast strobing light that revealed the doll's sudden movement, its head turning toward her. The faint light revealed a giant shadow crawling across the floor, cast by no body. Its edges like bat wings, it slithered toward her with lethal slowness. A rustling silk sound neared, the doll's cloth dress shifting in the box. She scrambled backward, hands scraped raw and rough wood. The creeping shadow brushed her shoe with biting cold. Behind her, the heavy box lid crashed down, followed by soft, padded footsteps approaching. A cotton-soft step vibrated the floorboards. The creeping shadow coiled around her legs like embodied black smoke, leaking a cold that pierced her bones. The doll was free. In the flashlight's flicker, the doll stood upright. Its glass eyes devoured the light, reflecting Layla's distorted face like a silent scream. The stench of wet soil and rotting flesh oozed from its cloth body. The doll's stitched hand rose, a single finger accusing her. Simultaneously, the shadow beast lunged with black claws at her throat. A stifled scream caught in Layla's chest. She dodged sideways at the last second. The shadow's claw grazed her shoulder like an icy knife. Burning pain erupted as warm blood soaked her shirt. The doll trembled with glee. Her blood splattered the dusty floor onto a hidden circular symbol drawn there. The symbol devoured the blood like fire on dry paper, glowing hellish red. Grandma's prophecy was complete. The doll had been touched by family blood. The creeping shadow contracted like a starved octopus, swallowing the bloody symbol. The doll convulsed, its mouth threads unraveling, revealing a screaming black hole that exhaled a cemetery groan. Tar-black smoke poured from the doll's mouth, forming a twisted humanoid shape in the air. A shadow with ember-red eyes and bone-tipped claws. The entity was unleashed. The entity howled like storm winds in a tunnel as it attacked. Layla snatched the journal and fled toward the stairs, shadow claws scraping the air behind her skull. Her foot slipped on the rotting steps. She fell chest first, shaking the staircase. Above her, the entity swirled like a hurricane cloud, its red eyes burning her back with hunger. While crawling downward, her eyes caught a torn journal page, the circular symbol, and beneath it, Grandma's trembling words. Only fire purifies the vessel, fire releases the trapped spirit. Burn it before the darkness finds you. She leaped from the stairs and charged down the hall. Behind her, the entity's claw speared thick wood-like paper. A metallic screech tore through the house, like a victim being shredded. She stumbled into the dark kitchen, frantically rummaging through drawers. Rancid gas fumes choked the air. Beyond the window, the forest groaned under heavy rain and distant lightning. Escape was impossible. Her fingers closed on a rusted lighter in a drawer. At that moment, twin red dots appeared in the kitchen doorway, floating like a demon's eyes. An icy exhale filled the room. She struck the lighter while desperately a weak spark died. Again, nothing. The entity oozed through the wall like living ink, claws grasping inches from her foot. On the third try, the spark caught. A tiny blue flame trembled in her hands, revealing the entity's red eyes centimeters from her face. A black claw touched her shoe. She felt death's cold. With a desperate throw, she hurled the lighter at a grimy kitchen curtain. Flames devoured the dry fabric like a parched man finding water. A wall of fire rose between her and the entity. The entity recoiled like an animal torched, its agonized wail splitting the air. At the doorway, the doll stood, flames licking its cloth legs. Black smoke rose from it, mixing burnt flesh with the forest scent. She grabbed Grandma's old car key from the table. Heat choked her, black smoke blinded her. The doll burned like a candle, the entity watched from darkness, eyes red as divine wrath. She bolted through the burning hall, dodging fire-licked furniture. The entity stretched like a black curtain to block her path, claws encircling. She screamed, plunging through smoke toward the front door. The front door was a wall of flame. She kicked it hysterically. Charred wood collapsed, and storm wind slapped her face, salvation from another world. She fled into the pouring rain, feet sinking in mud. Behind her, the house was a mountain of hellfire, flames eating the roof. A giant, eyeless shadow danced in broken windows. The key clanged against the rusty car door. Cold, rain, and terror paralyzed her fingers. From the burning house came an unearthly scream, a wail of infinite loss and fury. Finally, the old engine sputtered to life. In the side mirror, she saw it, the burning doll standing in the rain, black button eyes tracking the car before collapsing into ash. She floored the accelerator. The car skidded on the muddy path. Her childhood home was a collapsing pyre in the dark. Yet a strange feeling lingered, that black eyes still watched from the dense forest. As the nightmare faded, she glimpsed her wounded shoulder in the mirror. Not a normal wound, the circular symbol itself, carved into her flesh, pulsing faint red. Like a brand or another invitation. Grandma's final whisper echoed. Blood draws the darkness, and it never forgets. The road ahead was dark, and the rain never ceased.